Santham Academy. Welcome to Digital Kaksha. To get updates on new videos, click the subscribe button and the bell icon.
Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we are going to talk about lesson 3 of first flight. The name of the lesson is 2 stories about flying. Of course, both the stories talk about flying. But the first story talks about natural flight. This is a natural instinct of the bird. Whereas when we human beings want to fly, we need to have a means through which we can experience it. And that is the air transport, what we call it as. So, we will talk about both the stories one by one. The first part of the chapter talks about his first flight. Do you know who is his here? Yes, his is referring to a seagull. A seagull is a seabird mostly found in the coastal areas. Coastal areas of North America, Antarctica, Australia, and many more places like this. So seagull, when they are found in the coastal areas, their food is fish. Now, there was a family of the seagull consisting of 6 members. 3 sons, 1 daughter, and 2 parents. It was a happy family. They were all living very happily on a cliff. And everything was going on fine. There wasn't any problem. But as we know that when we human beings have small babies, after a particular period of time, we teach them. The next phase begins that of teaching and learning. Till then, we fully support the child for every single matter. Here also, when we see the life of a seagull, they too have this procedure of teaching and learning. We human beings, when we teach a small baby how to walk, we are very careful and we try our level best that the child should not get hurt. For that, we are overcautious. We hold the hands of the child and helps him take every step, and especially the first step. Similarly, the seagulls also are teaching their young ones how to fly with many cautions. So here the entire story talks about the flight of a young seagull. Now the mother seagull and the father seagull, they taught their 2 sons and 1 daughter how to fly. And 3 of them could fly very nicely along with their parents. But the youngest son was afraid to fly. You know why? He was not having confidence that when he will dive, his wings would support him. As I told you just now, that human beings take extra care that the baby should not get hurt. Whereas, when from our perspective, when we see the birds doing that, we find it a bit strange. Normally, birds take their young ones to the edge of their nest, and from there they ask their young ones to dive. When they dive, They are in a difficult situation. When they dive, they are in the danger. And so, that is the right time when they need to flatter their wings. When they try, they learn how to fly. Similar process was here for the seagull also. The mother seagull instructed this young son that you need to take a dive. The mother seagull instructed the youngest son to dive from there. And as soon as he dives from the cliff, he was supposed to flatter his wings. And that was the very first step of faith. But the youngest son was a bit fearful. He was not quite sure that his wings would support him. And he had a fear that if I dive, there is water everywhere. I might get drowned and die. So, he was not ready to follow the instructions of his parents, due to which the parents had to try some tricks with him. What? First, they instructed him lovingly. His siblings showed him the demo even. Look, you have to dive in this way. Start flattering your wings. Your wings would support. They did it many times in front of him. Yet he was not ready. Now, the parents, they started to tell him again and again, this is the time for you to learn how to fly. And it is must. No effect. All of them, they started taunting. See, you are not a good seagull. You will not be called as a perfect one. Why are you behaving so? You need to learn how to fly. No effect. Then they tried to rebuke. They scolded him badly. Many a times they might have scolded him. Still, this seagull had no effect. He said, no, I'm not ready to fly. I will not try. Then, even they threatened him, threatened of what? That if you don't learn how to fly, you will die of hunger. Yes, for a seagull, it is must to learn how to fly, because the second step is how to catch his prey. In order to get a fish, a seagull must know how to fly. And that was the most difficult part for this youngest son. He found it difficult to take the first step. Parents and siblings were quite sure that if he does it for the first time, he will be able to do it every time. So they were encouraging him. They tried all the methods. But the seagull was not at all convinced that his wings would support him. You know what? When we, as a student, don't listen to the teacher tries various methods. The parents do the same thing. And then comes the most difficult part. That is to become a bit hard. Your parents sometimes become a bit hard and they teach you somehow what they wanted to teach. Same thing happened here. The hardest decision the parents had to take in order to teach the youngest son how to fly. What was it? The entire family left this youngest son on the cliff and flew from there on the other side of the sea. Imagine how difficult it would have been for mother to leave her son. Still, the mother had to do it in order to save his life. Now, parents, the entire family, they were on the other side of the water, and he was left alone here. Just like you people play tricks with your parents when you want something from them, this youngest son also tried. You know what? He just hid one of his legs in his wings, keeping one eye closed, and from the other he was looking whether my mother is looking at me. Mothers are always mothers. You cannot fool them, right? So mother knew that this is his trick. No effect. He was actually very hungry. The next morning, the entire family had a good breakfast. They caught fish, they had breakfast, they filled their stomach. Now, this poor seagull on the other side is really very hungry, was pleading probably to parents and to his brothers and siblings, I would say. But they were not ready to listen. They said, if you want food, you need to come to us, to the other side of the sea. And in order to reach there, he needed to dive and start flattering his wings. So that day, he pleaded his mom, "Mom, please, how can you do this to me? How can you be so hard? You know I have not eaten anything since last night. Please have mercy on me." Mother probably thought, fine, let me help him, but I will teach him how to fly. So she got a trick. The trick was that she caught a fish and she took it in her beak and was coming towards the child. The child became very happy. The youngest seagull thought, finally, my mother is going to help me. He didn't know what my mother is going to do. From this side, as he was very hungry, he was also running and coming closer to meet somewhere in between and take the food. Mother already had a plan. Before the cliff begins, the mother was flying towards the sun. The sun was also moving in the same direction from the opposite side. And now, before the cliff could begin, mother flew upward. So, with the speed, what happened? The seagull had to dive. The moment he dived, he got into danger. And he understood that this is the most difficult part. I will surely die now if I don't flatter my wings. So, he started the movement of his wings. To his surprise, he found that his wings were supporting him. Wow, what a happy moment! And then he realized how easy it was. I was simply afraid of flying. And then the entire family, was happy. They were in a mood to have a party. Probably they might have had a good party that day. Father Seagull, his siblings, his mother, everyone was very happy. Moreover, this youngest seagull had no bound. And then he tried again. Found he was able to fly. Yes, now he would also be able to catch the fish as his other two brothers and one sister was doing. So, my dear students, what do you learn from this particular story? Of course, your answer would be never to give up. But before that, see, always be ready to take risks in life. Risks help us to reach to greater heights. And in order to get success, we must have a tendency to try at least. This youngest seagull had only one problem, that he was not trying. Had he tried a bit earlier along with his siblings, he would have flown at that very moment. But there are some people who are afraid of some things, who are afraid of the circumstances. But we must always be courageous and brave enough to take the risk. And moreover, one more lesson we learn, the importance of family and friends in our life. Yes, when we don't meet our friends for so long, we feel very bad. When our family members are unable to visit us, we actually feel bad. And it is our nature that we are social people. We always want to be in company. And here, unless the seagull was left alone, he did not dive. Although he did not dive of his own wish, but somehow that happened and he had no other option than to fly. So, in our life, when we are left with no other option, better take a risk. And when we do that, we reach to the greater heights. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more.